There is a claim circulating right now that XRP has already replaced SWIFT, that it has been running parallel to the global payment system for years, and nobody officially announced it. Today, we are going to do something different. We are going to take that claim seriously, run it against the documented facts, and give you the honest picture of exactly where XRP and Ripple actually stand inside the US financial infrastructure right now. Because the real story, the verified story, is more significant than the speculation. And we have several confirmed developments this week that prove it. This is XRP verified. Let us get into it. Let us start with the claim that XRP has already replaced SWIFT. The short, honest answer is no. That is not documented or verifiable. SWIFT still processes $150 to $162 trillion in cross-border messaging annually. It still connects 11,000 financial institutions across 200 countries. Ripple's technology is not officially embedded as a replacement for SWIFT in any documented government or central bank policy. What is true, and this is the important part, is that Ripple's technology has been formally evaluated at the highest levels of the US financial system for years. In 2015, Ripple Labs was selected to the steering committee of the Federal Reserve's Faster Payments Task Force. In 2017, the Fed's final report specifically called out Ripple's cross-border solution as enabling financial institutions to process payments faster than the typical 2 to 4 day cycle. That is not speculation. That is the documented official record. Being evaluated positively by the Federal Reserve's task force is not the same as being officially adopted, but it means Ripple has been in the room with the right people for a decade, and that matters. Now let us talk about Kevin Worsh, the new Federal Reserve Chair, because there is also significant speculation about his connections to Ripple. Here is what is confirmed. Worsh has personal exposure to digital assets through investment funds. He has publicly described himself as open to central banks engaging with digital currencies. He co-authored an academic paper that specifically names XRP as a liquidity solution between stablecoins in a cross-border payment framework. That paper is documented and on the public record. What is not confirmed is any formal or direct relationship between Worsh and Ripple, or any official role for XRP in Federal Reserve policy under his leadership. The connections being discussed are indirect, through shared policy circles and digital asset investment networks. The significance is not that Worsh is secretly running XRP through the Fed. The significance is that the person now setting US monetary policy understands the utility of XRP from his own academic work. That is, a fundamentally different starting point than every Fed chair before him. Now here is what Ripple is actually trying to accomplish with the Federal Reserve, and it is specific and verifiable. Ripple applied for a national OCC trust bank charter. If approved, that charter gives Ripple direct access to Federal Reserve payment rails, including FedWire and FedNow. Right now, Ripple connects to those systems through third-party banks, each one adding fees and friction. A direct charter eliminates that entire intermediary layer, faster settlement, lower costs, more institutional volume flowing directly through XRP ledger infrastructure. This is the real prize, not a secret replacement of SWIFT, a formal regulatory approval that gives Ripple a seat at the table inside the US financial system, which is exactly why Elizabeth Warren is spending so much political capital trying to stop it. She recently sent a formal letter to the OCC demanding confidential application documents for 9 recently approved trust company charters, with Ripple National Trust Bank specifically highlighted. She is not doing this because she thinks Ripple is irrelevant. She is doing it because she understands exactly what the OCC charter means and who it threatens. Now let us address the Ripple acquiring Circle rumor, because it keeps resurfacing and the math simply does not work. Circle's current valuation puts the acquisition cost somewhere between $20 and $30 billion. Ripple does not have $30 billion in accessible capital. The majority of their XRP, approximately 32 billion tokens, is locked in escrow. Their available liquidity is approximately $5 billion. To raise $25 billion, they would need to sell an enormous portion of their escrow allocation, which would crater the XRP price, the exact opposite of what they are trying to achieve. And consider the alternative. For $25 billion, Ripple could acquire multiple companies like the ones they have already bought. Hidden Road, G Treasury, that directly expand their institutional payment infrastructure. Those acquisitions compound XRP utility. Buying Circle buys a stablecoin competitor. The economics do not support it. Move on from this rumor. Now let us get to the confirmed developments that actually matter this week. SoFi just became the first nationally chartered U.S. bank to support XRP deposits. 13 million banking customers can now buy, sell, and hold XRP inside the same app as their salary account. This is the moment the XRP community has been saying would come for years, and it just happened at a nationally chartered bank, not a crypto exchange, not a fintech startup. A nationally chartered U.S. bank integrated XRP. When SoFi becomes 10 banks, then 100 banks, then 1,000, and the trajectory of that adoption curve is what matters right now. Italy's Banca Generali just became the first Italian bank approved under MiCA, the European Union's comprehensive crypto regulation framework, to offer crypto custody and transfers. Europe's banking system is not watching anymore, it is integrating, and the rails being built across European institutional custody, stablecoin infrastructure, and cross-border settlement all connect to XRP and RLUSD. The ETF flow data this week continues to tell the institutional rotation story clearly. Bitcoin ETFs lost $105 million. Ethereum ETFs lost $33 million. XRP ETFs added $1.55 million in net inflows. Capital is rotating away from large-cap crowded exposure and toward utility assets with confirmed institutional use cases. The head of research at BRN described it directly. Capital is moving toward newer narratives. XRP is one of 3 assets capturing that rotation, alongside Solana and Hyperliquid. Ripple Treasury also announced a strategic partnership with Treasury XL, a Netherlands-based platform connecting senior treasury and finance professionals at banks, payment providers, and large enterprise corporations globally. This partnership is about distribution, expanding the funnel of banks and corporates that learn about and eventually adopt Ripple Treasury's platform, which natively supports XRP and RLUSD. This is not a direct price catalyst. It is an education and distribution channel that widens institutional exposure to Ripple's product suite across a professional community that has direct influence over how corporations manage cross-border payments. And the DTCC announced a partnership with the Stellar Foundation, confirming that their tokenization platform is genuinely multi-chain and blockchain agnostic. DTCC is working with XRP Ledger through Ripple Prime, with Canton, with Chainlink, and now with Stellar. This is not competition. This is institutional confirmation that the DTCC's October tokenization launch is a collective effort across multiple blockchain ecosystems, all of which benefit from the volume and legitimacy that DTCC integration brings. The FX market opportunity remains the biggest long-term number, $9.6 trillion processed daily, 2.7 quadrillion annually. Ripple already covers 90% of global FX market geography with 70 billion in real processed volume. When banks use XRP as a bridge asset for FX liquidity, they need to hold XRP on their balance sheets. If Ripple captures even 5% of the daily FX market, the volume flowing through the XRP ledger per day makes the current price mathematically difficult to sustain at these levels. Solving a quadrillion-dollar problem with a fixed supply asset creates a supply-demand dynamic that is structural, not speculative. Let me bring all of this together. XRP has not secretly replaced SWIFT, but Ripple has been formally evaluated by the Federal Reserve, is pursuing a direct OCC bank charter that would give it access to Fed payment rails, and the new Fed Chair co-authored a paper naming XRP as a bridge currency solution. SoFi just became the first nationally chartered U.S. bank to offer XRP to 13 million customers. Italy's first MiCA-approved bank is integrating crypto custody with XRP rails in scope. ETF capital continues rotating into XRP while Bitcoin and Ethereum bleed. The DTCC October tokenization launch is multi-chain, and Ripple Prime is confirmed inside the working group. And Ripple already covers 90% of global FX market geography, positioned to unlock trillions in nostro capital when clarity passes. The verified story is more significant than any rumor. Stay informed, stay patient, stay positioned. If this video gave you real value today, subscribe to XRP Verified. I cover these developments every single day so you always know what is happening before the rest of the market figures it out. I will see you in the next one.